So hello guys, I am very happy to be on Digital Dragons again. I have to say this conference became huge and really advanced. I am here to talk about the AI tools in digital painting workshop idea. All of us are using differently tools, and here this will be an approach for the digital painters, kind of concept artists, more kind of artists. Couple of words about myself. I am basically a concept artist who is working right now in a Paramount Pictures. Before I was doing lots of titles, including Love, Death and Robots. I was helping with Ghost Runner, Destiny 2 as well. There's tons of stuff I could say about my experience, but I would want to focus actually on the AI topic. So be sure to visit my website, and yeah, and let's go straight forward to the AI thing. So what is this AI thing? Basically, it's like a software that is using algorithm to diffuse the picture for us, basically make from the prompts and from whole database that was learned, and basically to diffuse to make those pictures for us. Those are briefly kind of explanations how it was working on a first stages of Midjourney and basically beginning of Stable Diffusion as well. So basically, it's making pictures from basically a bit from our artist approach. We are also making stuff from the whole to the details, and actually it's kind of similar process that the AI is doing as well. And yeah, we have lots of AI tools right now. Lots of, yeah, some of them are better, some of them are worse. So we have Midjourney, DALL-E below, that is actually free version of Midjourney. We have Stable Diffusion in many versions. Lastly, I was testing the version where you can, in Paint, use those skeletons to control your characters as well. Yeah, and we have as well NVIDIA Gauguin that was evolving in case of the environments. And lastly, I had the pleasure to have fun with Adobe Firefly that is basically in beta stage. And I have to say, yeah, those guys are trying to do the legal approach for totally 100% legal approach to AI tools. And yeah, it's kind of working, but I will show it on examples. So as an example, I took something that was not actually made from the pictures before. So that was Darth Vader on the horse, on the moon. And those are just comparisons between a couple of different AI tools. As you can see, it didn't done the job too much. The Darth Vader doesn't look like Darth Vader in both of those softwares, Night Cafe and Disco Diffusion. Disco Diffusion was actually cooler for abstract actions. But here will go better. The Dream actually done pretty good job. I mentioned about the Adobe Firefly. It didn't done the Darth Vader at all, because the Darth Vader is basically copyrighted. So it used kind of totally different shapes, and it made a character. But as you can see, it's pretty well made comparing to Dream. And if this will be the kind of legal answer from Adobe, I'm kind of excited, I have to say. I'm totally excited. Yeah, here you have the DALL-E, that is a kind of popular engine as well. It looks like a toy or something. And Stable Diffusion in 2.1. Yeah, it's good, but could be better. And I think all of you guys heard about Midjourney, and it's I think the most powerful tool on the market besides the Stable Diffusion with all those variations. And honestly, I like Midjourney. I know that there are some issues, but I think everything will be solved in time. It's all about how we are using those things. And also, I want to show you guys how Midjourney was evolving and how basically this engine of learning how it's supposed to make the arts was evolving on the same prompt, on all the variations that was in the past. So with version 1 or version 2, that was looking like more like a DALL-E, but still was like basically evolving. Version 3 is kind of similar, and version 4 to what we have with DALL-E. I think version 4 is kind of as well similar to the Adobe Firefly level of development right now. So it's not actually super bad. I think we are going in a pretty good direction. Right now, we have version 5 and 5.1, and they are actually doing a perfect job in case of the Darth Vader horse. And he's not on the moon, I think, because the moon is always in behind, in the background. So AI doesn't actually understand those minor details sometimes. It can be tricky. Yeah, but like I said, 5.1 looks actually dope. Yeah, and how we can use it. So we can use it for generic fun, to make funny stuff, llamas, or Joker, Jackson. You can, like, I think you can be familiar with those franchises. Mix those things. Those are actions for fun. We can put like really funny situation on the screen, actually. Yeah, and we can make our characters that we actually like from the franchise to look differently or better. Or take the style from the past artist. I am from Poland. I always liked Zdzisław Beksiński, so I took like a layer of his works, and I was basically exploring how we can have fun with artists that basically passed. But I would advise them. I would advise those activities to keep kinda in a reference fun stage and not try to sell those things, because it looks like Beksiński. I heard like we have. And wait a minute, I have to drink something because like it's really complicated after yesterday's party. Oh god damn it! Oh yes. So yesterday as well, besides the party, there was like a speech about the legal aspects of the AI, and the art style is basically not copyrighted. That was the conclusion. Compositions like can be, but not in how we can think. But still, I would advise to avoid trying to sell like stuff in different artists' art style or like this kind of approach. But those were really interesting exploration that I done with myself and for myself actually. Yeah. Also, yeah, that was kind of cool. I used ChatGPT to play RPG game. And I use Midjourney to make the visuals actually for the exploration. And that was actually a super cool idea. Yeah, and let's go to practical use. Because like I mentioned, there's supposed to be a talk about the digital painting approach for those AI. So for what we can use this as a digital artist, basically, we should use parts. It's like it's not really good idea to make everything in the tool right now. So let's try to take the asset from there and explore with it. So we can like basically make the backgrounds, sky, or other stuff that basically will be our backgrounds, right? We can make textures, and they can be really amazing from the kind of hexagonal, more geometric ones to real dirt to some Aztec textures. I tried those, especially for this panel, and I have to say, yeah, there are no actual limits for this process, and we can do pretty good textures from also like a sci-fi panels, and yeah. But I am not a 3D artist, so like I will try to focus more on the digital painting part when I'll be doing the demo, but we'll get there. Okay, and as well we have, because AI happened, we can mix really interesting materials, like really different stuff with each other, substances that were not mixed before, in my opinion, or they were not so easy to have fun with. Like some plastic, glass, and like transparent elements. Those characters in my opinion, could be pretty hard to make them from scratch, like without the inspiration. And I think AI can help us to visualize those elements that we didn't make them as well. Like usually we are thinking that AI is basically doing our stuff, and actually they're doing our stuff. But at some point we can try to find some new quality, maybe new quality with some stuff, not like a. Yeah, we can put stuff in smoke, in fire. We can make people from gold. Or yeah, have fun with like really. I had fun with those transparent and plastic materials, and I have to say it's really interesting approach. I would never like make it like it could be really difficult, for example, to make this character from like only photos and basically to deliver this kind of silhouette as well. In my opinion, it's really interesting idea to use those tools for finding new qualities. The same, like it will be a bit, yeah. I was also trying to explore environments and how we can mix stuff that like, there shouldn't be. So those are some like a pies, something like this, and you will find there will be like a more kind of sweet areas, and it could be really hard to make them like imagine them actually, but we can use, I think, AI for this reference pretty well. Actually, I really like this one with this big star in the shape of the, yeah. Yeah, and what we can do more, like experiment with the medium. So I done like personal exploration with the idea of white cube. So white cube basically is like a gallery that we are seeing stuff. And the whole idea in here was basically to use people, not people, but AI kind of puppets, to explore stuff that couldn't happen in real life or could be really hard actually to make it. So like I made the white cube and I put them actually like let them meet the sun, right? And how it could look like, and how we could like took like thousands of people and make them to be in this environment. And AI is actually doing pretty well job in like establishing all those small details. Sometimes it doesn't actually know that it's like a fire, so it hurts, and it doesn't understand those connections. Lastly, on Facebook, I even saw on some group that there was on Midjourney people were making a challenge about the people eating different stuff like lava, wood, like stuff that we shouldn't eat, and AI was trying to make those visuals working. Kind of funny, but in the same time, I feel we could do a bit more. So yeah, like I put them underwater. It's kind of interesting to explore with yourself and with the tool your ideas. And I believe it doesn't have to be only digital artists or I don't know, like artists as only. We can kind of start to manage our own pipeline and like kind of work with those tools and become kind of like an art director, maybe AI director, because like we can basically extend and yeah, I think the word extend is kind of good word. Our skills and possibilities. It's not only about pictures, in my opinion, because with those we can sell the actual idea for some cool, I don't know, short or setup for the something more interesting than only videos. I would think about some installation or yeah, still underwater, more surrealistic. I make them even to have a lockdown in some point and to meet the big ball as well. So yeah, and you see, for example, this piece. And it's kind of tricky how he's eating at dinner. They are in the kind of flooded space. There's tons of weird stuff that I wouldn't want to meet. Like, it's really sometimes hard to make those things from your imagination, but you can use right now many tools to like shuffle your content, and like not shuffle, but basically to find it with this tool. Okay. Oh gosh. So you can enchant your art as well. So I took my thumbnails for my project that is called Collapsing Universe, and I was basically adding another layers of AI layers on it, and mixing with a bit with the 3D, a bit with the 2D as well. And I have to say, yeah, we can extend our inspiration process for sure. We can extend actually like our bunch of options pretty easily with those tools. But it's really problematic in some point because like the AI have limits. It doesn't understand something. So yeah, I will show it later a bit. What about those limits? Like black and white stuff, character design that I was basically made for this project, and I was having fun with the AI layers on top of it, right? Like I said, I mixed some stuff here in Photoshop. I will show you guys a demo after this presentation. There will be a short demo about how I am using actually those tools. Let's go. I was exploring like really weird stuff. Those elements right now until the end actually, there will be like those will be mixtures between 3D, 2D, usually and AI layers, and usually mixed and composed in Photoshop. Sometimes with some simple 3D base that is actually very useful, or like with your own stuff mixed in between. Well, mecha, I love mechas, I love robots, so. Yeah, personal exploration actually. I would advise anyone to have it, to have fun with it. I feel we shouldn't be afraid of AI. It's all about how we are using though, not the tool. The tool is just a tool. It's like with the hammer, you cannot like. It's all about how we are using those. You can kill with the hammer, or you can fix your house. It all depends on you. The same is here with Atom. We can like build the power plants or destroy countries. With the AI, we can do the same. It can destroy actually our culture and us, or we can use it for our own good actually. Like, we shall see how it will be working. I am kind of excited, honestly. Yeah, and I think this part is actually the part that will be going to the demo. And in my opinion, this is one of the most interesting features that came on the side when AI came. And we have Infinity AI photo stock right now. So basically, you can make yourself a content to work with. Those are just visualization of the people with different clothes. And like basically, I was mixing different races, clothes, age, and sometimes it was tricky. For example, this woman supposed to have like jeans pants, but they were missing in the process, like this woman. But still, we can like take parts from those generations and make our own new quality, kinda. And 25 minutes, yeah. So, okay. So I was like in a hurry actually to make myself time for the demo. And yeah, so basically I am taking like those elements and mixing them in Photoshop. So for this purpose, I basically mixed a couple of things because, like I said about the limits, AI it's not the best in making like very complicated mixtures. So if you want to have a character, like with this example, I took like a Japan high-tech fashion with anonymous or guy quotes mask with the hat, and I want to add some sci-fi armor and some kind of fancy gun, right? And if I would want to make it all in whatever tool we are using right now, it will be pretty difficult. Maybe in Stable Diffusion with inpainting, when we can basically mask some part of the picture and force the AI to make something in there, it could be possible. But honestly, if I would have this kind of request from the client, I would just make the asset and make the asset actually for myself and work with it as I will show you in here. And it's kind of simple. Like I don't have too much time, so it will be kind of briefly idea how we can take it. So like we can take parts of those characters. Oh, God damn it. Ooh. Yesterday. This hit me. Yeah. And mix those aspects. And I would say, like AI is making everything, for example, pretty easy composed in one color, in one setup. But if we, for example, try to mix those things, like if I would try to mix the Japan high-tech with the kind of Westworld idea, definitely it wouldn't work. But it will work in some day. This moment will be actually pretty interesting. In some point, I believe those tools became tools. Like if Adobe is making their own tool and it's actually doing pretty well job, and those guys are basically officials. Like they are making like our art tools from many years. So even they are in this process. Ooh, yeah. God damn it. I would say, yeah, and about the legal issues. Yesterday I was listening to prelection about it, and honestly, I feel we are on a good way to accept that the maybe it's not about the tool. The tool cannot do the art. That's obvious, right? It's just a tool. But I wouldn't stop artists from using those tools to do this actual art or to explore them. Like I noticed, for example, on Reddit, there are like groups that they blocked the whole AI content. If you have like a couple of pixels from AI, they are basically blocking you. In my opinion, like it is kind of not smart to lock us if we are using like this in that way. If you want to do like another Keanu Reeves or something like this, or like a Pope in the jacket, yeah, maybe they should block you. But if we are not like work with it as a tool, I would say it will be amazing. It looks like crap. I have to do something with it. It's all about the yesterday. Really, like, if you have something to do next day, the part is really problematic sometimes. Okay, and I'll put some sketchy gun on it. Yeah. Maybe not him. And like I am just like working with them. It's kind of funny how you can take some shapes and make them to be totally different than they're meant to be. I feel, and this is the whole fun. The same I feel with the with those exploration about the white cube, and for me that was really fun ways to do something. You know, like honestly, to make my exploration, I had to have like thousands of people, or like use Blender for all those things, and try to basically, I don't know, like render crowds. It can be problematic. And right now with those tools, we can basically have fun way quicker and develop those ideas way faster. I noticed like lots of artists are afraid they will lose job. I would say we are the most, like we have all the competence to make something with it. Like it's all about seeing stuff right now and understand how it will be working. And like we are seeing anatomy, you know, like and like so artists shouldn't, in my opinion, complain too much. They should basically start using those tools, because like they can do something pretty interesting with it. Not like casual people usually doing the same stuff. I don't know, like another Harry Potter or like another Darth Vader. And I believe the artists that we are taking the tool for the next level journey, like the same that we done with the photography. That was from the beginning something like a funny toy, but for some artists they were using actually camera to stop this moment in time, like as a sketchbook, kinda. And later we can say something that we have like artistic photography. Come on, like I would say we are evolving in all matters, and AI is kinda the same. I know it can kill us. I saw the Terminator. I know that it's like not always like the bright scenario, but it doesn't have to be. It's all about us and how we will be using it and how we will be limiting this. The tool by itself, probably it will be doing like what we put in there, or like what it will figure out that is smart. I hope the humiliation of our race will be not the first thing. Okay. Yeah, so like I have kind of like a heavy character with, I don't know, with the Guy Fawkes mask. It's maybe not the best. Yeah, maybe I will put some cape on him or something like bigger and back. Yeah, and let's just say that we have some cape on the dude, and he is in his high-tech Japan style, kinda. Yeah, also about like those elements. Like this mask is basically kind of older thing, but I would advise to not use actual copyright, obviously copyright aspects in an obvious way, because it's all about like the same with this Pope with this puff jacket, right? It's maybe not, the person was using the Pope like intentionally, like was trying to make some kind of situation that will focus on that. But if you wanna explore the art aspect, like just avoid, like obvious stuff. Avoid putting art style of Gary Kutkowski in the. Like, I would say, like, try to explore this in a way that you will find interesting. I believe that's the best way to use it. It's not about it's not only about copying other prompts and adding some stuff. I would say craft yourself some idea. for the prompt and try to work with it. Eventually, training your own AI with stability is not so hard. Yeah, you have to have like tons of pictures, but you can make like a base training on, like you can use like right now their base training and like add some of yours as well. I believe later we'll have like better tools and that will allow us to train only on our stuff. And like I was exploring my own exploration with this black and white project that I am rolling, and honestly, I have the project in the stage that I modeled the characters. I started to making first animation, but I came back to AI to just have like another layer of kind of inspiration that it can give us. And right now I feel I have to like go back, rework a couple of scenes, rework a couple of frames that I was like almost happy before, but like we found kind of better solution. Yeah, and I would advise anyone to kind of do like their personal exploration. The same with the ChatGPT. This tool is amazing. I was always dreaming about the computer from the Star Trek thing, that they can ask anything and it will answer. And right now we have kinda thing, and any of us can actually use it. So yeah, it's kinda interesting. I think I will leave this dude like this. Oh, the hand. Maybe it's not the best. Maybe it looks like me from the yesterday, but it is, right? And it's all about the mixing a couple of different aspects, terms. I know it can be like blurred, and I can make those things to be more connected, right? But I don't feel it's needed right now. I feel it's more to show you guys the way that we can use those tools, not how to paint or like make actual prompts. Oh yeah, and those prompts for this thing were actually super easy, and that was something like a high-tech Japan high-tech fashion, mecha armored vest and revolver, and this guy was basically Guy Hawks in a Westwood hat or something like this. Yeah, and obviously there's lots of ways how we can use it. Lastly, the 3D software became pretty powerful as well. I am waiting for that moment that will. Well, when we will be able to basically make our story, make our concepts, make our models, and basically work with kind of co-pilot to deliver your own project by yourself, like not big companies with thousands of people will be making projects, but individuals will be able to develop and deliver to the audience more personal ideas, and they will be basically, I feel better, like because we can make them not like faster with some kind of fun as well in the process. So I feel we are heading in a pretty amazing direction. Okay, I will save that thing. No idea how to name that, but okay. Okay, yeah, 10 minutes. Thank you very much for being with me on that hard day today. We have 10 more minutes, so I feel we can do the round of questions, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Anyone wanna ask about anything about AI or approach or hands? Come on. No one? You have the question. Okay, let's do it.
So, okay, I wanted to ask that if your approach is basically creating prompts to create reference images and then use them as reference images for photo bashing.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's more about to make yourself a content. Yeah, I'm trying to like basically avoid, like I said, avoid like stuff that is copyrighted. You can use your ads as well, put in like a reverse search in Google to check that there's any other art that is similar to you after you will finish your process. But basically, yeah, I am basically trying to use AI right now as a basically like photo stock, when you can basically make yourself everything, like crown, like gold crown, or yeah, homeless guy, and no, eventually everything. And that's the really beautiful aspect of using those tools, because we are limitless right now with it. Like they have to be fixed, those legal issues, but I strongly believe that when we are using the AI in the way that we are changing a lot in the prompt, and we are avoiding to hurt anyone's copyrights and other rights as well, we will be kind of good.
Okay, can I ask a follow-up question? So, what would be your advice for someone who is trying to make it in concept art? Should they like try to incorporate AI in their work, or maybe? Yeah,
sure. For sure, you should like try to work with it. Like you wanna be like on that challenge competition kind of thing, because like concept art is pretty tricky role. Like there's like a big kind of bunch of people that want to be, so it's like a kind of, you have to be good in that. So you have to keep your level of your quality of your stuff as well. And right now, the AI is basically everywhere. Like we are seeing those arts that are generated by AI way more often than the normal arts right now. It's a bit sad in my opinion, because like I feel the art is basically like step back, and it's not about to like going step back. We should basically explore with like enjoyment the new tools, in my opinion. Not be afraid that it will take our work. No, because this is supposed to help us, not take our job. But yeah, I would advise to basically have fun with it. Like I said, pay attention about the legal issues. Like try to. There was like a pretty amazing prelection yesterday about the legal aspects and how to use like AI without the fear. Like I was on both of them, and I have to say, yeah, they are. There is also a bright future. There is not only a dark future in there. And honestly, if we use it correctly, if we are changing stuff, we can own those. For example, I own this this character thing, because like I make lots of changes in there. So it's not only AI art. So it's, you can also own your content. It's not only like there's not problem with that. So yeah, honestly, it's all about how we'll be using that that tool. And as a concept artist, when we have to deliver lots of options, variations, it's amazing tool for me actually. Like I am using it in my work, but smartly. That's the whole idea. So yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Anyone else? Oh yeah. 6 minutes.
Hi.
Hey.
I have a question. There is a concept pictures, but what do you think is AI can transform these flat pictures to the 3D objects and make this in a sphere? Okay.
Like you're asking, is the software like doing the 3D right now?
Yeah, maybe now, maybe tomorrow.
We have this kind of software as well, but it's not precise. Like when we are trying to make a cat, like a simple cat, was something like, oh, God damn it, vidra. I have no idea how to say vidra in English. What? Once again? Otter. Yeah, so from the cat we got the otter. And it was actually 3D, and so it can make some simple 3D stuff. Like I had a pleasure as well to help some company. They were developing like basically 3D AI tools, and it's still problematic a bit, because it is really making way more those calculations than 2D stuff. But I think we are heading there, and honestly, we'll be there in a couple of months. That for the when the last successful approach as I found that was basically making kind of characters that you can animate in Mixamo. There's like there's some kind of software that you can find online. It's called Adobe Mixamo. Then you can put like a rig in 3D model and animate pretty easily. And you can use like a templates of like thousands of moves. And the dude basically made a T-pose of a character, post-apocalyptic character, that he made these characters in Midjourney, and later he put this T-pose into the 3D software that was basically on GitHub, or so you can use it as a user. All of us can. And I tried it. It didn't make this kind of like amazing effects for me because it was kind of quasi-model thing on the end. But still, that was like a 3D model, and eventually it will get better. So we will be able to do it. It will not replace 3D modelers, because we will be still needed there. Like all of us artists will be needed there. There's lots of mistakes and stuff that have to be fixed after AI, and AI have to be directed. AI have to be used as a tool, right? It cannot like take our jobs, but in 3D aspect, I would say it will be helping to make bases, like base mesh and base elements. And if you will be not trying to make too complicated stuff, but if you try, for example, like do simplified elements, like I make the head or the hand or the foot, it will make it pretty well. But if you want to have like a whole character with 5 fingers, I don't think right now we are on that stage, but we will be soon. I hope that helps.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else?
Can you use this microphone in the center of hall? Yes.
Hi. So
Hey.
I'm wondering, about a year ago, those tools were mostly useless, and right now we still need human input mostly due to technical limitations as well as legal. But once technical and legal limitations are overcome by the AI, how would you expect this to impact the industry in the long run?
You know what? You have to repeat the whole.
Sorry.
Try to like.
So basically what I mean, like last year, most of those tools were pretty much useless, and you still needed a lot of actual human input to get over both technical limitations, like hands, for example, as well as legal aspect of it using like copyrighted work. But those things, like those issues are being solved right now, so I guess like 1 year from now, probably it wouldn't be as much needed. So how do you expect this to impact the industry?
I feel if we will use it smartly, if Adobe Firefly, for example, is happening and it's made by Adobe, and that's actually the biggest company that is doing our tools, I think it all eventually get better. Even Adobe Firefly will be able to do the 5-hand finger. And I feel it will make I think every project to be more developed faster, to be made faster. If we will not try to fight with it too much and try to like push it back, but to use that tool, I believe it can change all actually the industries for better. I know that can be some bumps and protests and stuff like this, but eventually all the technology is going that way. Like there was like a dude that was lighting those lamps and when like in old times, right? But after we had electricity, he was not needed anymore. And like, yeah, we can complain and feel sad for him, but probably he found another job, right? He switched to something else. Probably maybe he's a dude who is like switching on like the switcher and putting electricity on the whole city. And the same will happen with AI. Maybe we will be able to make more coherent projects, bigger projects, and more people will be actually creative. Imagine tons of people became creative because they start to do, they got like a possibilities. They got the tool that is making those Darth Vaders on the moon. So like in some point, not only industry is changing, but our personal mood as a human monkeys, like as a humans, is also changing. Like we get to be more creative right now. I feel we can, it will affect like all industries, I feel, and for better, I hope. Okay, 20 seconds.
We have still 5 minutes for questions.
Okay, perfect.
So
Let's do
maybe
it.
anyone else? Can you use this microphone?
Okay, so you said you own this image you made because this thing you made, this character.
Yeah, this thing.
Because you made some changes there.
By the
I'm
definition,
a
yeah.
programmer, so I can do what you did, but I can generate a picture in Midjourney and, for example, make it grayscale in Photoshop. And do I own it? I made a change. Where's the border? How many changes do you have to make to own this?
I get it. Honestly, it's really problematic question because I feel those low aspects will be solved like soon, and actually we are, I think, in the process of deciding where is the balance and how much it has to be changed. From the definition, you cannot own something made, like the art cannot be made by the animal or by the machine. So like anything that will be made in AI, you cannot basically own it, but you can make significant changes in there, and then you can own it, right? You can be like a kind of like a creator of it. But you are not owner of the content, but you are owner more about the composition, like how you establish all those elements. So right now, actually, it's pretty problematic to explain the whole legal issue, especially I am an artist, and like, it's kind of problematic for me to answer all those legal aspects. That's why I was yesterday listening to other smart people that were like talking about it. And from what I get from those two projections is point R, it's all changing right now, and it will be defined probably soon. Point two, we should basically not only use those tools, try to basically work with them if we want to fight to get the rights to ownership of those pictures on the end. Because, right now, because the law actually is working like this. I cannot say like 20% or 2% because like it's not for me actually to answer. I feel the future should answer because right now we'll be basically deciding where will be the balance. And actually, I think I am waiting as well for the answer for that question. Yeah. Anything else? Or we are done? Oh, there's a hand.
Now I want to ask you about your feelings. Do you think you are too lazy? Because you're lazy, you are lazy because of AI?
No, definitely not. Because honestly, really, like it makes whole my process like way more exciting, way more fun, and I wouldn't definitely call it lazy. If you are spending the same amount of hours on to craft something. Imagine like you are working 2 weeks or 3 weeks to develop like idea how to work with for me, for example, how to work with like AI and to train it, and it took like a couple of weeks, and later you can basically work with that to make kind of like your own content, and whole this process is taking the same amount of time for me to like I would take to make one bigger picture. Like, I don't know, like some concept art like with / illustration, and right now I can basically do faster the same stuff. I wouldn't call myself lazy. I would say I am more faster actually than lazy. I understand like how you are like approaching that you can basically do less because the tool is doing more, right? But that this kind of thinking eventually will hurt us only. Because we'll be only good, like if you're only choosing from the stuff that AI made, and AI is making only safe decisions, the safest from the safest decisions, because it is trying to do the cool stuff that we will like, right? So, and we are choosing only from those choose stuff. Like art is not there. Art is somewhere between. It is amazingly good or it's amazingly bad, and sometimes like it's all about some. Small aspects that they are not right, that they are making the art actually to be coherent, or like something interesting actually. Coherent is the bad word. And AI will never do it. So in some point, there's have to be always a human aspect in there to make something more with it. And if you are like honest with yourself as an artist, you will not be trying to be lazy because you will be trying to do what you are like you meant to do by yourself. So it's all about how we are using it actually.
Thank you.
Okay, I think right now we are out of time, so thank you.
Thank you.
And don't worry, you can meet Matt. Of course.
Thanks.